Jim Ziegler, the Alpha Dawg, and we've got a spectacular show for you today. Now, I know, I always say we have a spectacular show, but I've got a really spectacular show for us today. We've got all my friends from Northwood University here today, and we're going to be talking about Northwood University. We're going to be talking about the academic program. We're going to be talking about some of my friends at Northwood that I've grown very dear to me in the last couple of weeks, starting with the professor herself. Hello, Professor Patton.
Hello, Jim. Thanks for having me.
Glad you're here. What are we going to talk about today? What's the subject going to be like?
Well, I think we should talk about Northwood University and the automotive program and how the experiential learning we're having by having you in part of our class.
Oh, that's right. I'm teaching a class on how to manage a dealership from a general manager's point of view.
Yes. Yeah. And that all came about because LG sent me a article that you had 50 things that I would do if I took over your dealership. And I said, you know what? Let's have that in class. So we called you up and said, Jim, would you be a part of this? And that's how it all started.
Fantastic. And one of the students is graduating soon. Hello, Connor.
How you doing, Jim? It's an honor to be here.
Connor Cummings. Tell us about yourself, Connor.
Well, I'm a junior at Northwood. I am 21 years old. I am from Columbia, Tennessee. I have one company I've started up. It's called Hustle 10. It's a personal training company. We have apparel as well. We just opened up our first gym this month, or this previous Monday. We're looking to open up some possible franchises coming this summer. So a lot of things, looking forward to it. Northwood's been a great launching site for my career as an entrepreneur, and I've learned a lot from the automotive program. I'm looking forward to that career as well.
Fantastic. And hey, Jordan Mickle, hello, how are you?
Good, how are you?
Pretty good. Tell me about your experience at Northwood.
So I'm a sophomore. I'm in the BBA MBA program, which is the master's program. So I'll be getting my master's in 4 years, which I came to Northwood just because it's an all business school. You're surrounded by people who have the same mindset as you. It's very competitive. And not only that, you get amazing connections from Northwood.
Fantastic. And stashed away in a room way across campus. Okay, you guys ready?
Ready.
Okay. In the center, we got Thad. Introduce yourself.
Hello, my name is Thaddeus Peak from Rochester, New York, automotive major. Something about Northwood that I really love is it brings people closer together with similar interests. So you come with the automotive program, you know the people you're going to be around because they're just like you, and we're all just trying to figure out our own paths into success.
Now, you've been in one of my classes here for the last couple of months. How are we doing?
I absolutely love when you're teaching the class, Jim. I get a lot out of it. Just the experience you have alone, I pick up the majority of what you have to say, man.
Fantastic. Hello, Dom.
Hey, how you doing? Dominic Malling from Avon, Indiana. I'm a freshman actually at Northwood studying automotive management and marketing. The reason I came to Northwood was specifically for that program, and I'm just real excited about the connections I'm going to make in my 4 years here.
And fantastic. The director, the chairman of Automotive School, LG Bright. Hello, LG.
Hey, Jim, how are you today?
I'm having the best day of my entire life.
So am I. It doesn't get any better than this to be with a legend of the industry, with these future rock stars. This is the pinnacle of this week, this month, and I dare say it, this year.
It's a heavy responsibility being a legend.
You wear it well, sir.
Fantastic. Well, what I want to talk about is Northwood University is a full academic university. It is a business school. One of the mythologies out there is that it's for car dealers only, although they have a strong automotive program. It's not just automotive. Professor, pick up on that a second, would you?
Yeah, absolutely. LG, would you like to go ahead and pick up on that one?
Yeah, sure. You know, that's a well-earned reputation due to our relationship with a number of entrepreneurs by investment and management within NADA. But the truth of the matter is, as Jim so eloquently put it, it's a full business school. We have marketing and management and economics and finance and accounting, and everything that you would find in any big corporation, any functional area, we teach it. You're looking for supply chain and logistics, we teach it. Operations management, MIS, data analytics, all across the spectrum. But just like the industry that we represent, there are halo programs, and the automotive programs, both the management and marketing and aftermarket, they have really cemented their place in the industry, and it has become our halo program. It is the thing that we're probably recognized for most nationally.
Now, Connor, you've basically switched over from finance to automotive recently, true?
It is true. I just wanted to learn more career-specific topics, and I was interested in the automotive career just as the possibilities of the outcome, what there is to learn at Northwood specifically. But I've enjoyed it. This is my first semester being a full automotive marketing management major, and it's been awesome ever since, and I regret not doing it sooner.
Fantastic. Let's jump into Professor Patton. Pick up where we left off.
Yeah, so Northwood really focuses not just on the academics, but the experiential learning aspect of academics. So we feel in the automotive department that it's very important to give our students opportunities outside of just learning terms and terminologies, if you will. So in our class, having you come in and speak about general management is one of those opportunities that Northwood allows their students to have. In asking questions of industry, having labs with actual applications of software is part of what my role is. We have all kinds of experiential learning, and if you go to the Northwood website, under our academic page, you'll see all kinds of things from international simulations of how to run a dealership. We do that on campus as well and host that with other countries. We have the largest North American auto show in the United States that's ran by hundreds of students with a lot of inventory. It takes over the whole campus, so it's a campus-wide event. And LG, would you like to pick up on some more of that experiential learning that we do here at Northwood?
I would love to, but even before we do that, if it's okay with you, Jim, I have another great student here, and I think it's representative around the table here. I've got students from New York and Indiana, and I know across the cyberspace, we've got Tennessee and Michigan, but Alex Mazon's here also. Alex?
Yeah, hello everybody. My name's Alexander Mazon. I'm a freshman here in Northwood University studying automotive management and marketing. I'm from the greater New York City area. What drove me to Northwood is the connections and networking, and so that's basically what it's all about, what those opportunities bring to you and how successful you're going to be at the end of the day. So that's why I'm here at Northwood.
I'm sorry, I didn't mean to neglect you earlier, Alex. The way the camera's going around.
Yeah, it's an honor being here. It's an honor being here.
Now, one thing about Northwood, I've heard about Northwood for years. I spoke at your West Palm Beach campus here years back. LG, you and I were talking about that recently. You know, it was kind of interesting. Carter Meyer was the head president of NADA. He was co-keynote speaker with me at the time, if you recall.
Yes.
Yeah.
We hope not to have anybody, any unfortunate things happen. We know you as a great, energetic master of all things that happen within automotive, but you know, sometimes you'll have one or two things that happen, even to the best of them. And you're a great speaker, but that particular speech will go down in history as very memorable.
I'm going to switch over a second. Jordan, what's your major?
I am automotive marketing and management. I am not a dealership kid. I don't come from a dealership. My dad actually has a business in aftermarket, but I really just came to the industry just to see what it was about. And it's a never ending, always evolving industry. So that what drove me into the automotive. I did love how Northwood has like everything so specific. Any classes you take are all tailored towards business. It would not be at Northwood if it's not any business related. We do only have the only aftermarket major. It's offered nowhere else in the United States. So that's pretty cool about Northwood too.
What attracted you to automotive? I know you have family in automotive aftermarket. What's your goals? Where's this going to lead for you?
I would like to be somewhere in the marketing industry, probably like the social media marketing, going very far, maybe even hosting events. I like hosting, seeing all the new cars, the new things, how it's changing, and all the different gadgets everything is coming out with, all of like the crazy news technology and everything like that.
Maybe they'll have me back sometime to do a course on how to produce conferences. I've produced a lot of conferences, big ones, the internet battle plans and the seminars and such. Let's Connor, tell me where's this all going to lead?
Just in terms of a career for me?
Yeah, where are you going to be? You're going to be gymnasium business? You're going to be in the car business? You're going to be a circus barker? What are you going to do?
I hope to dabble in a lot of things. One thing that I've learned specifically at Northwood is that the dealership world is a passion, I would say, but it's one chapter of your life. And I feel like I've learned a lot on how to separate those different chapters and how to really, dominate in a sense of, your business side of life, if that makes sense. And so I'm hoping to get an F&I job out of Northwood. I'm confident that I'll get something in the finance and insurance part of the dealership. But like I said, I'm looking forward to the different avenues that I get to venture down specifically because of my experiences at Northwood.
Fantastic. Let me go back to Thad. Thad, where's this all going to lead for you?
Well, Jim, I come from a family that owns a dealership. We just bought it in 2016. After graduation in May, I plan on taking my knowledge and running with it, see where I can get. A 20-year goal, I'd like to be nominated for a 40 under 40 dealer award.
I'm still waiting for 80 under 80.
No, that complements it. Really, my insurance license.
Alex, where's this career going to lead?
Yeah, so right now I'm very fresh. I'm very new. I'm a freshman here, and I got a lot of big goals that I hope to achieve. But at the end of it all, I want to own my own, I guess you could say, collection of exotic dealerships all over the United States.
Fantastic. So you're talking about new car franchise exotic dealerships or pre-owned?
Yeah, I hopefully can get into that too, but yeah.
Fantastic. Where's Alex?
I'm here.
Oh, no, excuse me. I lost my head. Okay, who am I missing here? I guess I've got everybody. LG, tell me the success stories of your graduate students.
We have so many that have been very generous to us. We talk about some of the relationships that we have out in the industry. I know Jen is connected with Jennifer Suzuki, who is a NADA moderator, working with us. We like to talk about Jared Rowe, who for a time was the president of Auto Trader, who helped create a scholarship that still is very, very helpful to the general chair of the world's largest outdoor auto show, and it's free. Brings 60,000 people out to the campus, 500 vehicles, half the campus working on it. A few years ago, the NADA had Mark Scarpelli at the head of it. Mark is a Northwood grad. The Detroit Auto Show had Ryan LaFontaine as the head of it. Ryan's a Northwood grad. So we like to point to, some of the really visible executive positions, but the truth is 25% of the member dealerships at NADA have some type of management or investment directly related back to Northwood.
Fantastic. I looking for Dom a minute ago. Where's Dom?
Right here.
Okay. Dom, what's your goals? Where's this thing going to lead for you?
So I'm a freshman as well, so I have a lot to learn. I've been in the car business since my freshman year of high school, actually. So I hopefully want to keep on perfecting my expertise and hopefully own my own group one day.
So how have you been in the car business?
I started out just as a lot guy, and then I worked my way up to be a certified technician, all the way to being one of the top salesmen at my dealerships. And then more recently, I was a finance assistant.
So you've definitely got some boots on the ground. You've been there.
Oh yeah.
Fantastic. That's one thing I admire about Northwood. I know a lot of Northwood graduates that have arrived at all different levels of expertise and all management levels. And the diversity's there, the men, the women, the persons of color. I mean, it's a complete academic situation. It's really a true business school, I guess I would say. Let me get back to Professor a second. Professor, you're making a little noise in the background there. Okay. Talk to me about Northwood. Tell me about the programs you offer.
So there's really 3 career paths within the automotive umbrella.
That's what I was asking. Yes.
Yeah. So there's a path to go down for retail. There's a path to go down for corporate, and then there's a path to go down for aftermarket. And so, depending on which program, a lot of the students that are going in the corporate retail go down the marketing management side, and then there's a separate program for aftermarket. And a lot of our students will collaborate electives between the 2 courses and take classes, so they can educate themselves. We have students in our class that plan on going into heavy duty and vice versa. So, but we support the industry in general. One of our big partners is Cox and Reynolds, both of which support a lab at Northwood. They come in and speak to our class regularly and do demonstrations of their product and technologies so that students are keeping aware of all of the new opportunities that are available to them. We have a student-run organization in which the students were kind of handed the keys, if you will, to some of the marketing management opportunities, this being one of them. So the podcast and being able to learn how to do some of the things Jordan said she wants to do as a career with social media. She's been given a role within that student-run organization. The aftermarket club exists. They built a vehicle, a project car with sponsors, and they promote that. So there's a tremendous amount of opportunities to get involved with Northwood outside of traditional academics. And I think just like our retail business is changing, I think in some ways academics is too. And I think we have to adapt to how the students want to learn. And Northwood in and of itself has always been pretty good in the automotive program of having that experiential learning and opportunities. I mean, a lot of our students will go to be guest doing introductions for Outstanding Business Leader Awards. We've got a partnership with the Hall of Fame, and the list can go on and on and on. And I'm sure if we give LG the stage, she can finish up the podcast with just listing the multiple opportunities. But that's one thing that we really feel is important. Is it's about engaging, it's about relationships, and LG will tell you over and over and over, relationships and networking is extremely important in this business. So we try and expose our students as much as possible to those networking opportunities. A lot of them go to NADA, digital dealer conferences. There's lots of opportunities within automotive to get yourself educated outside of just the course curriculum.
So you're basically hooking the students up with in-industry events, things that are really relevant.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, let me go back to LG on that a second. There he is. LG, talk about the full spectrum of campus life. Is it all academics? What else does Northwood offer?
These students are doing great things. They're one of the things we're most proud of. We had a coach, Coach Ripa, that passed away, him and his wife from cancer. And Coach was fond of saying, "Go make a difference." We have a Go Mad Day. Students are out in the community, whether it's a homeless shelter, whether it's raking leaves for the elderly, assisted living, Habitat for Humanity, working with the animals. These students are out making a difference. It kind of emulates, again, what dealers do in their communities. I mean, it's the first one that the Kiwanis and the Rotary and the Optimists call on, not only in times of disaster, but in some of the halo things that happen within a community. I know my own daughters looking for a poster for their track team, and the local dealer, Northwood grad, didn't know it at the time, but Keith Kasurik out in Wausau, Wisconsin, was happy to lend a Corvette and a truck for the parade. These things happen within the community because of car dealers. And our students emulate that on campus by doing great things, go make a difference. They're also doing other things that impact the community. We had a flood last year, not only a pandemic, but we had a flood. And the automotive students, along with the greater campus at large, out doing cleanup efforts on campus and off. And then they have a full Greek life. We have fraternities, sororities. We have, and it was mentioned earlier, full athletics. Some of these students are juggling not only their automotive studies, business studies. They're going to hockey practice, football practice, basketball, and then many of them are juggling jobs with the local dealerships. And we're just so excited. One of our, a great partner, all of the local dealerships, but Dick Garber, not only on our board of trustees, but he's a graduate, his son's a graduate, and has been just a wonderful partner in having the students that may or may not stay with his organization, but enhancing the teaching and training through job placement with his array of dealerships that are in the area. And so these are just some of the things that the students are doing besides coming to class. They're also listening to great industry experts and thought leaders like Jim Ziegler, the Alpha Dawg, in class. There's just a number of them. We just had Patrick Janes from V Auto in class. We have Glenn Pash in class. And, Reynolds has been instrumental in not only setting up internships, supporting a lab, but sending speakers in and talking about BMS or talking about reputational management. So as Jen said, I could get long-winded on the number of things that happen.
No. This is what we need to get out in the automotive community, because there's a lot of mythology about Northwood that is totally untrue. I mean, you don't have to be a dealer's son or daughter to attend, number one. That's one of the strongest rumors that we have to dispel. If you have an interest in an automotive career or a business career, I take Connor, for instance. Connor is an entrepreneur, the business school aspect of it. And we haven't even touched on the social aspect of it yet. So I'm going to go back to our social animal here a second.
I thought you were going to go to Thad.
Thad's coming, so
He's next.
Tell me about the social aspect of the college.
There is a social aspect. It's a lot different than what major universities have. I've got friends that go to University of Tennessee Knoxville, University of Tennessee Chattanooga, but Northwood is a lot different in the sense of the size and the connections you make as well.
Connections is what I was driving at, because I think you're making some lifelong friendships, some lifelong connections that probably similar interest people. Talk to me about that.
So in terms of the connection aspect, like I said, there's not that our student population is very small. We're like, everybody. Like when you walk down the mall walk, the center of the campus, at least 50 people that you're walking down. You can say, hey, how you doing? What's up? These are the same people you're going out and being social with on Friday, Saturdays, nights. It's not just some Joe Schmo and then some Johnny the next week, or it's not random people you're hanging out with every other day. You're hanging out with the same people, building on the same connections, and hopefully we're all the future leaders of the free enterprise society.
Fantastic. Okay, there she is again. Jordan, tell me about the social aspect.
So the social aspect, everybody, like, it is not like a big school. There's not big parties. It's not anything like that, but we are all together. You're friends with literally everybody. I think it's way better than a bigger school because when you go to a bigger school, you have friends with like the same 5 people and they aren't even in your major. They aren't even studying the same thing. But at Northwood, everybody is studying the same thing and you know everybody. So you're just friends with tons of people in the industry and business world. So I think you develop way more connections than you ever would at a bigger school, which the social life definitely builds way higher than being at a bigger school.
Well, you know,
And not only that,
in
you
the
can,
automotive space, and I've been in the automotive space for 47 years. Car people like to hang with car people.
yes, they do. And not only that, our connections with our teachers are very close. It's more, our average class size is 23 to 25 people. So you get that one-on-one connection with our professors, and our professors have been in the industry for years. So they know like the ins and the outs, and they're teaching us directly, which gives us an upper hand to everything, which is super nice.
I'm glad you brought that up. Professor, what makes you qualified to teach a class on automotive?
That's a good question. So I actually am a graduate of the Northwood Automotive Program 20 some years ago.
I know that.
Yeah. So, and I came from a military family. I didn't come from automotive, but I came because I thought I could make a difference in the industry. I loved taking care of customers. I love the customer experience and driving my decisions to make people really happy and excited about the product or service that I was delivering. And I figured that's where I could make money. And so I just kind of chased that dream. And I was fortunate enough to very quickly move through the different levels of the retail business. And
wait a second, you were in retail?
I was in retail for over a decade. Yeah.
You actually did it?
I did it. I sold cars while I was going to
somebody teaching that can actually do it.
Yeah.
You ever see the movie Home Alone?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah. So teaching what I've done and I was fortunate. I worked for some really good organizations. The last one was Dick Garber. I ran one of his stores as a general manager. And then I decided I wanted to be my own entrepreneur. And I started my company about 12 years ago. So I own a multi-million-dollar digital marketing company now. And when COVID hit, in the unfortunateness of the 500-year pandemic flood that hit my alma mater college was devastating. And so I reached out to LG and said, I want to do something. What can I do to help? I'd like to give the gift of my time. And at the time he said, well, why don't you come teach? And at the time I wasn't prepared to take that on full time, but when the opportunity serves itself, you take it. And so I did. And I've actually had an absolute blast. Like Jordan said, these students and I connect on a regular basis outside of the classroom. I actually had several of the students asked to continue class after it was already done because they were engaged so much in the discussion that they wanted to continue it. So the passion that these students bring is just as rewarding probably to me as it is me being able to provide some of that industry experience that I've had. But I don't also believe it's about my industry experience. I think it's important to elaborate on other people's opinion about industry experience. And that's the experiential learning that I keep going back to, is it's getting opinions from other people, sharing and maybe validating what I've shared in class, such as yourself, Jim. So, and with that being said, LG also has retail experience, and maybe he can share a little bit about why he's qualified to teach at Northwood.
Hey, LG, tell me about it.
I would love to. Well, I also, and I go back a little ways, but I got a chance to cut my teeth for 10 years at Art Moran, which was a Pontiac GMC Mitsubishi dealer. It is still there. Mr. Moran was a great teacher. His sons, a few have passed on, but a great operator down there, Tom Moran now. But I cut my teeth there. I came up through fixed operations actually, and got an opportunity to manage. And then spent 22 wonderful years with General Motors, mostly field assignments. although I did do some time in what they call distribution and the customer assistance center. But field assignments around the country. Got a wonderful opportunity to work with entrepreneurs in sales and service and finance and parts. And then I've been at Northwood for the last 10 years and connecting with not only great thought leaders and subject matter experts, but with the students. It doesn't even feel like work. It
so
really
if you
does.
want to learn the car business, see, this is what impressed me, because when I first met Professor Patton, and I've known you for a while, but I really didn't know your background, and I'm hearing experiential, people that can do teaching, which is a rarity in this world today. I mean, the qualifications of the instructors experientially. Don't teach me my job if you can't do my job.
And of course, calling on dealers want to know, have you ever spent time on the showroom floor? Have you ever spent time in a service lane? And again, that's something that they want from that partnership with their manufacturers. And again, was fortunate to have that experience, was fortunate to work for a dealer that believed in processes. And so we adopted TQM, which was a manufacturing process, but the key takeaway was you own your job. And he was ahead of his time. I still have my love of the game and my respect for dealers from my time spent at a dealership. And so overcoming objectives or pushing back on some of the noise in the system about dealers, that you got the wrong one. I know that you can do Johnny Cash, but I know it was another great country singer that said, you're on the fighting side of me.
Merle Haggard.
There you go. I knew you would know.
Hey, I'm a Jacksonville redneck at heart.
Oh, well, you come by it all honestly. If the audience hasn't heard you sing, you would think that Johnny Cash has come back from the great beyond. You do a good job.
Not going to do it right now. Hey, Alex, how realistic is this course?
Is the course?
Of course of study. I mean, the entire course of study.
I mean, realistic wise, it's 100% genuine, and everything you do is you're going to experience down the road. And that, like Jen tied it back perfectly with the experiential learning. You learn through experience at Northwood, and that's something that I find crucial. Other than other universities, you're looking at textbooks and 24/7 just reading. Here you do, it's hands-on. For example, just the other day, we went to a dealership and we had an argument about two cars. And why is this one better? Why should I get this one? And at the end of the day, it's like, wow, this would never happen anywhere else. And Northwood's just 100% driven on experiential learning. So I find that special.
I find it special. Dom, are you still with us?
I'm here.
Let's get you on camera there, Dom.
All righty. Can you see me?
No, you're like Waldo. I can't find you.
I'm sorry. I'll keep on talking. What's up?
Okay, you've got a lot of experience in the dealership. You've worn a lot of different hats. How relevant and realistic is the curriculum at Northwood?
Yeah, that's a great question. Never once in my K through 12 history, I went home and told my parents how excited I was about school. I got to Northwood and I call my parents every day after my automotive course. And I'm like, guess what I learned? This was awesome. And my dad, he has 20 plus years experience in the industry. And he's telling me, the guys he trains never learn this. Northwood gives me a learning that I wouldn't have gotten anywhere else. And it's a great thing.
So you've learned relevant curriculum. That's the biggest takeaway that my experience interacting with the Northwood people. Thad, are you around?
I'm right here, Jim. Can you see me?
Now you're playing Waldo on me, but you'll be here in a second. Just keep talking. They got one of these high-tech cameras that follows the voice around. Come on. Talk to me, Thad.
Since I'm a senior, I've had quite the experience with Northwood. Starting out our freshman year, we do an intro class, which gives you about a 30,000-foot view of the industry. Covers all the departments. From there, second semester, freshman year, we go into our variable ops. So that really covers the in and outs of variable ops, everything from about a 15,000-foot level. Going in sophomore year, we do the same with fixed ops, the whole 16-week class, same as the variable ops class. We really learn the fixed ops. Some of the guys, they aren't familiar with the automobile industry, so we teach it to them here. We also start financial accounting.
So if you want to really learn the car business, my thinking is this is where I would start. If you've got a son or a daughter, or you are a student yourself about to enter a university, it's a serious consideration. Is that a fair statement?
Absolutely. But the university only does so much. You got to take it upon yourself to take advantages of the opportunities they give you. So whether that be joining the state associations or your city associations back home, Northwood does a lot. It really teaches you the industry, but you need to take it into your own hands and keep learning. Well,
I have always said Zieglerism, average people, great processes can yield incredible results. And I think we're learning the processes here. Professor, what would you want to tell people that we haven't yet discussed?
Wait
a second, I've got I pulled a Connor on you. I cut your mic off. What have we not yet discussed?
So I think it's important for people that are considering Northwood, especially the automotive program, to think of it kind of like as a case study. We're teaching fundamental marketing, fundamental management, fundamentals of business, but we're using the automotive business as our case study, real life application, real life networking. And so people that are going into any facet of business could benefit from the education within automotive. Automotive isn't just about retailing, and automotive is also about, like we said, logistics, data analytics. There's all kinds of facets. You can go into accounting within automotive. It's not just car sales or mechanics. This is a vast industry, and I think sometimes people going into college don't consider all the opportunities within automotive. But there is a tremendous value not only in the education but also in the income that you can earn compared to other degrees. So I think that's an important aspect. LG, do you have anything you'd like to add to that?
That's a great summary of our program. Just a number of wonderful opportunities. And I heard something this morning that you want to give somebody dignity, give them a career. And automotive is been fantastic in my life. The students that come to Northwood University that are seeking their place in it, I see the passion, I see the enthusiasm, and get to work with wonderful people like Jennifer Patton, and get to have great friends like the Alpha Dawg, Jim Ziegler, come into class and impart wisdom. And we can't emphasize that enough. You're hearing from the industry experts, and the generosity of time, talent, resources. I always say, if students hear me say it all the time, the people that come in, they have day jobs, they have for-profit businesses. But to see Jim in class having a great time, and the students, sitting at the feet of the master, I say that with all due respect. I mean, that's what it is.
Well, humility is not one of my trademarks.
It shouldn't be, because they say if you can do it, you can brag about it. It's those ones that can't do it are the ones that really shouldn't brag. But we're appreciative of everything that we get from the industry, and we're appreciative of everything that we can provide to the industry in terms of talent.
is there anything anybody would like to add before we sign off the broadcast? I think we've covered a lot of material. One thing, Algie, one thing. How do they get in touch with the university? What's the first step?
First step is to go to northwood.edu. And if you go to northwood.edu, you will see all of the academics, catalogs, alumni, all the different aspects of the university that you could connect with, including automotive. And at the automotive site, you'll see a number of different videos, a lot of pictures, but you can get our whole catalog, curriculum. There's something with Jennifer and myself. That's the best way to connect with us, northwood.edu.
Now, if I'm a parent in the car business, say I'm a manager, say I'm a successful sales representative, and I want the best for my kids, and I want them to continue on this path, this is where I personally would look. Real world, because there's a lot of theory in the car business. This is a real world education. I can't stress that enough. I've interacted with Northwood. I've made some friends here. Well, Connor too. But anyway, I made some good friends here. And anything you want to say before we sign off, Jordan?
I do not. I just had to say or touch on Jen's. Our classes are mostly discussion-based classes. It's not like you take a test and like that's your grade. It's more of like, do you understand it? Our professors always make sure we understand everything. We get everything from start to finish, and we go from there and we learn what we want to learn. We've walked into Jen's lab several times and she asked what we want to learn that day. And we would just have a discussion class, talk about it, learn everything that we wanted to know. So it's really altered to like what we want and what we are given the opportunity to learn.
It's amazing because sometimes when I'm teaching in Professor Patton's class, she'll interject something. I'm saying, oh no, she really doesn't know what she's talking about. Oh, okay, jump right in here. So okay, Connor, is there anything you want to add before we sign this thing off?
I would just like to touch base on some of the extracurriculars that Northwood has to offer. We have a mock trial program. What mock trial is exactly what it sounds like. It's a trial team. They put together, you get a big case book, you get a year to prep on it. And our school, I'm not sure what they're currently ranked, but our school was in the top 20 a couple years ago. And there's 750 teams that participate in this activity. And we're ranked higher than schools like University of Michigan, Michigan State, Princeton, not Yale, Harvard. We're ranked higher than the Ivy League schools I can name off are endless. Our DECA program is one of the best in the country as well for collegiate levels. There's just a lot more things going on here than just learning, and I think that's important to touch on. If you're like me, you got to be running 100 miles per hour, or you're because if you're not going fast, what's the point in going somewhere? And Northwood, if you want to be busy, you can be busy. There's a lot of things going on. A lot of people just want to connect with you, see what you have going on with your life, see if they can add anything to benefit your education and your process as well. The other thing is if you're interested in coming to Northwood, maybe you aren't interested in college. Most people graduate within 3 to 4 years as well. A lot of other universities, it's getting closer to 4.5 to 5 years. So you get in, you get out a lot faster, and you learn more here as well.
Thank you so much. Alex, what would you like to say before we sign this broadcast off?
Yeah, something I'd love to touch base on, again, before we sign off, is just the whole keyword of opportunities. And there's no school that I believe that has better opportunities than Northwood does. May it be inside your 4 to 3 years here or outside as you're looking for a job. As a freshman, I can tell you now that I already had so many opportunities that I know are going to make me grow as a person, business leader, just outside the career and the classroom that I couldn't get anywhere else. So if there's somewhere you're looking for opportunities, this is a place to be.
I know from experience that Northwood is looked up to by the dealer principal world. I mean, dealers have a high level of respect. Thad, what would you like to say before we sign off?
You know, Jim, we have a lot going on here. If you're the driven student that wants to be a player in the automotive industry, I think Northwood's the school for you.
That's it. Dom, tell me the last word.
So one of my main worries before coming to Northwood was, am I going to a class that's, outdated, that's going to be teaching me stuff from 5-10 years ago? And once I got here, I realized that that's not the case at all. We're learning as the industry changes. I mean, every day when we go into class, we sit down, what's going on in our industry? What else can we learn to help better ourselves as we graduate?
Paradigms are shifting rapidly. Yeah, what was true 5 years ago is not true now. I've had to reinvent myself so many times, and it's happening again. So you're saying that the curriculum stays relevant.
Yeah, 100%.
Fantastic. So the final word, LG. Let's sign this thing off.
An attitude of gratitude. Thank you, not only to Jim Ziegler, but thank you to all that you do, not only for the industry, but for Northwood University. And if you're the kind of person that all of these great students have spoken to today, if it resonates with you and you want more information, northwood.edu. Thanks, Jim.
Northwood.edu. Now write it down, go there, take a look. If you're in the automobile industry and you want the best for your kids, you want your best for your relatives, you want the best for yourself, this is where I would go if I wanted a really meaningful career and to move up in the car business. Thank you, all of the people from Northwood. Appreciate having you here.